I forgot to turn my microphone on. Okay, hi. So, for anybody who may or may not be watching this live as I'm doing it, um, because it will be deleted shortly thereafter, I am playing around and seeing how this streaming thing works. But there's nobody there. So, it's just me. Okay, so that's how you do the guest. That's how this happens. What happens when I hit that? Oh, it does that. Why don't I have a thing? Okay, it should have a thing, but it doesn't. So I gotta figure that out. So much to do. Okay, so. Okay, so if I share my screen, it's going to ask what screen. Okay, so let me open Chrome. And go to alrighty. So now if I go back, let me try that again. So share screen. My browser has blocked. Okay, so I have to reload. I think I'm back. I hope nobody is watching this. If you are, I don't see you in the chat, so say hi. Because I'm just trying to figure this out. So share screen and pick a screen. And I don't see Chrome on here. Why don't I see Chrome? I see the breath. Why won't it? Why won't it let me actually share? You see, I don't want to share the entire screen because this is the screen I'm currently in. I want to share. Wait a minute. Is this because what happened was I think this is because I don't have multiple desktops. Is this because I don't have multiple desktops set up? So maybe that's something I could do easier on my Mac, but not on my Windows PC. Because I don't even know how to set up multiple desktops over here. So, okay. So there's the invite. And I just do that. Okay, so that's a thing that can happen. Oh, okay, so here's banners. Create banners. Ooh, themes. And private chat and settings. That's my camera. That's me. Do not have a green screen set up. Okay. I mean, it seems to be working fairly well. So I'd want to create my banners ahead of time. Okay, so the logo, I have to leave. Okay. Ooh. So I can make an overlay, but let me guess that's a pro thing too. The free plan comes with one example overlay. If you'd like to upload your own image and videos, check out the upgrade options. Okay, so I'm sure that's same over there, and I can make that go like that. Okay. At least change the brand colors. It doesn't look that bad with the purple lighting because I like the purple lighting in the house at night. So that's something that I was wondering. I mean, you can really tell that this side of my face is getting lit from over here and that side's from over there and whatnot. I wonder what would happen if I turned. Ah! That is super bright. Oh, that's haunted house. Oops, somebody's in here. Somebody found me doing a thing. Hello. Hello, Heather. I am playing with my new camera setup. I bought Epic Cam to try to do streams. And I don't know how any of this works. So I am playing with it right now. So I'm glad to see that that's at least how the chat works. Somebody popped in. Yay! This is crazy. I hope you can hear me well. I'm actually able to use my nicer microphone. There's probably a lot of noise because it's hot here. There's fans going on. I've been thinking about doing some live streams coming up, and I was just seeing how this works. There's a lot of features that I don't have. Oh, so that's how you pop. Ha! That's how you pop people up. Okay. So that's handy. Yeah, I don't have a camera like a lot of people do. So I downloaded an app for my phone that turns it into a webcam thing. And I wanted to see how it worked or if it worked, and it's working quite fine, working quite well. So that's exciting because I attend so many live streams. It would kind of be fun to host them, though in future I'm going to have to do a lot better setting my tripod up. Whee! Behold my posters. And not having it fall would also be nice. But yeah, so especially if my husband's home, this would be a really funny angle because you can see our 3 classic Star Wars posters going back, and he always sits back there doing stuff. He's actually in the back room watching The Punisher right now because I'm supposed to be writing. But I hit my 2,400 words for today, got myself a new app to play with, and I'm seeing how, if I want to do this. Because the thing that I'm most worried about, yeah, I'm using an app. It's called Epic Cam, EPOC. Here, I'll type it in the chat. Epic Cam. I'm using an app called Epic Cam, and they have a free version, and I tested the free version, and it was very laggy for me. In that when I tried it, my lips never sync with my video. And when I say they weren't in sync, they were like 2 to 3 seconds off. Like you would watch my mouth do this, and then you'd hear the voice. And then you'd do this, and then you'd hear the voice. Yeah. And so I bought I read a lot of reviews, and they said that there were a lot of problems with the free version because they were trying to drive people to buy the more expensive one. So it's not that expensive. It's like $8. And I'm trying to figure out my budget right now. and I don't have a lot of money. So I didn't know if I wanted to buy a um, new camera, if I wanted that to be on my budget or not. So I figured it's $8. If it works, I can use my phone to do these, and I don't have to worry about buying a new camera, at least not yet. Yeah, I do really like the name. Um, they have a website that has all the details. There you go. Um, yeah, and it's an app you put on your phone. It works over Wi-Fi, but I have mine actually plugged in on a cable. If I can wiggle it on a cable, that way I don't have to worry about it running out of power. And a lot of the reviews that I saw said that the cable helped it work better, which I was going to watch the replay of this and see, but I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Um, yeah. So I'm glad to see that this is working. I don't know when and if I'm going to start doing this, but I don't know if you were in any of the live streams I was earlier, but I had talked with some people about doing a video series about podcasting as a writer, because I've been podcasting for about 7 years or so. And I was thinking today, but I didn't have the camera because I recorded next week's episode today. It would have been really neat to have live streamed some of the editing and whatnot to show people the process of doing it, like the actual process of doing it as I was doing it. But I didn't have a camera set up. So I was unable to do that. Though I am kind of excited to give that a try. See, thanks. I'd like to use my phone instead of StreamYard sometimes. I thought about trying to do Zoom. Oh yeah. I was in a lot of streams today. Got 2,400 words plus my podcast written and recorded today. So my brain is a little jelly right now. But yeah, I am. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm really excited to be doing that, and I wanted to share that because I thought it would have been really nifty for people to see, especially people that are interested in getting into podcasting, because I have made every mistake and worked with probably every company under the sun, and I've said and done it all. So I really wanted to. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any write-ins. I would love to, but I don't know. But I think whether or not anybody watches it live or not, I think it would be really neat to use something like this to stream the actual process of turning an episode, from raw audio into a podcast. That way people could see how all that works. Because I've got it down to a science, at this point. But, I also cheated because, like I said, I've been doing this for forever. And so, I've got software that I've paid for that make a lot of the work really, really easy. But, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do all this YouTube stuff because it does not come natural to me. Because I feel weird being on camera, and I keep looking at myself up there because I'm looking at the chat over here and my camera's over there. I need to figure all that out for if I actually do this. Because do you also also edit in addition to writing. There were some at the stream who said they do. I have, I do for myself. I, I'm an old timer when it comes to all this. I started writing, well, like a lot of people, I started writing in middle school, but my first book was published in 2007. And oh, hey, Get Mad with Cad the Lad is here. Hey. Um, um, yeah, I got started in like 2007 was when my first book came out. And I worked with a terrible editor who said terrible, terrible, terrible things to me and made me do terrible, terrible things to my book, such as cut out all of the queer characters because nobody's going to write a book with, he said the bad F word in it. And I did that because I was young and stupid and didn't know any better. And after the experience that I had with them and the minor, like a little bit of, tiny bit of success I had with that, I started working with Amazon. And this was before there was a Kindle. Before the Kindle, before the KDP store, before any of this happened, I don't know if anybody remembers, they did the Kindle Shorts program. And they contacted me to write stories for them. Yeah. They contacted me to write stories for them. And I thought that was just crazy that this website that wanted me, yeah, very not nice. I thought it was crazy that this website wanted me to write stories for them because I had, like I said, this was before Kindle was a thing, and I agreed to work with them, and I started writing my book, Fate's Harrow, with them, and I had a great editor with them. I had so much fun working with him, and after that, I decided to go indie because I didn't want the editor that I had with Amazon was so helpful. Like they talked to me and cared about what I was the story I was trying to tell, and wanted the story I was telling to be the best story that it could be. And so, I didn't want to go back to having an editor tell me what I had to do. So after my experience with Amazon, I went indie with my next book, Shine Like Thunder. And so I've been doing this for a while. I've been editing, and yeah. But like I said, it was back then, I didn't think anything about it. I mean, it was so rare to get a queer character in anything. And I was so set, like just dead set on not being the next Amistad Maupin. That was my biggest fear in life, was to be that queer writer. And so when they told me to cut the, gay character out of the book, which really made the book suck. I rewrote that book and fixed it years later, but when I got the copyright back. But yeah, it broke my heart. And I was so fixated on not being that queer writer that I'll never forget it. I used to do panels at conventions before 2020 and conventions went away. And there was one convention in particular that I had gone to since I was 10 years old. And I was a writer going to the convention, and they let me do all kinds of panels, and it was wonderful and it was great. And when my book Shine Like Thunder came out, which had a proud out gay couple as the protagonists, I contacted them. I told them that I was free to do panels again, and they told me that I could only, well, they didn't say it this way. They said, we heard a lot of good things about you last year. We'll send you the schedule. And I got my schedule, and I was on the queer panel, and that was it. That was it. And for years after that, I was only on the queer panel. And I realized at that point that if you're going to do me like that, I am going to just show you how queer I can be. And yeah, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that crap anymore. And so there's an editors who had attended the stream this evening. Okay, I'd love to know the question. Sorry, the chat is... I don't know if I'm slow or if the chat is slow. But yeah, but just to finish my story, I had decided to give up on everything, on my entire career, and if I was going to be that queer writer, I was going to show people how queer I could be. And I wrote The Chain, which is an all-queer cast that takes place at a drag bar in an urban fantasy setting with literal fairies. And that was the best-selling book that I had ever had up until that point. So... do you mind me asking, are you yourself queer? I don't mind you asking. I am very out and very proud. I don't know how to describe myself anymore because I always said that I was gay because I like the men's. I am an out, proud, non-binary femme, which you can't tell today because I'm having a very dysphoric day and I did not shave because I started crying when I looked at myself in the mirror. So, yay! And I'm writing a scene in my current book about dysphoria. So, yes, I am queer. I am as queer can be. Yeah. I have been part of the struggle for years. I lost the best paying job I ever had because I was... I got a little too swishy one night, and my boss called me out, called me the F word, and fired me. And yeah, I am a out and proud member of the LGBTQIA. No, I'm forgetting some letters. Community, but yes, get mad with Cad the Lad. That's why you hear some of the author tubers kind of tripping over themselves because they realize that they've misgendered me in their videos. And I don't feel bad about it, especially because, you can see I'm self-conscious now. I'm covering my face because I've gotten self-conscious because there are people here looking. Yeah, but no, I am not self-conscious. I'm fine with any questions. Yeah, I wish I had known that was a thing, because when I first came out as trans, see, I'm 42 now. I'm 43 now. I would have been about 39, I think. I thought I was male to female. And I kind of followed down that path, and it was wrong. It wasn't right. And it was very confusing because I had never heard of non-binary people at all before. And so I didn't know that there was something that was not neither. And so that was a revelation for me that I wish I would have had earlier. And the protag in my current book is non-binary. Yeah. Yeah, I have heard it way too much because, like I said, I'm 43. So I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and I remember getting beat up outside the gay bar for being the F word, as people said. Okay, so you have a project that you are trying to find a suitable replacement for. The project is just not for me. Yeah. I don't do editing services. So, um, yeah, I'm doing pretty good, Brooke. How are you? Um, yeah, I've been doing a lot of research about this because, I have to, in doing the panels that I ended up doing, we started at one of the conventions that I usually would be at this weekend if it wasn't 2020. I run an LGBT tea party at on Friday night, the first night of the convention, and we often have people come in that are questioning. And so over the years, I have had to learn a lot about gender and whatnot and try to help people find answers. That's I don't want to call myself a counselor, but it's a thing that I've been doing for years. So, well, thank you, Brooke. Yeah. Um, yeah. So we've, you know, it's just something that I've, found myself doing a lot over the years. And so gender, gender was one of the last ones that I really helped out with. One of my daughters, because I, surprise, surprise, used to do drag, um, came out as trans, and she's got an amazing Instagram, and she's my life goals. Yeah, I'm so glad that things are changing because, like I said, I remember the bad old days. I really do. I remember how it used to be, and I'm glad things are very, very different now. And yeah, so um, I'm surprised that there is anybody here because I did not announce this at all. Okay, so my my philosophy: be a good person, even if you don't agree. Yeah, yeah. Um, some of my close friends are objectivists, and I am an avowed anarchist. So we could not be more different in political persuasion, but we know what we can and cannot disagree about and talk about, and we're still friends. The only place I draw the line is if your opinion is that I'm not a valid human being, I do not have to respect you. Just did a video about that, about J.K. Rowling. Um, yes, I am non-binary. Um, oh, Jules is here. Hi, Jules. Um, yeah, yeah. I didn't know that these existed. I have a very good friend, Morgan, who they wait. He's a he now. He taught me so much about this, and it's been amazing because he he's doing so well right now, especially now that he's finally started his tea and everything. And yeah, I wish I would have known earlier. I went through 35 years of hell because I thought something was wrong with me and I didn't know what it was. And do I know any LGBT editors? I have a lot of writing friends, but not a lot of them that do editing. I think we're friends on Instagram. I'm not 100% sure on that. I think my friend Susie is doing editing. She had talked about it. Um, and she is in a glorious lesbian polyamorous coven thing, and has been for years. Um, yeah, I I, th- I can look around for you, but off the top of my head, I can't think of any. Um, I don't know. Um, oh yeah, she who shall not be named. Yeah, I just did a video about she who shall not be named. Um, because I was tired of talking about her. And so I recorded a video to get between it and an episode I did of the podcast back in December, just pointing people to that, to links to that. And there's my opinion. I don't have to say it anymore. Okay, have fun, Brooke. Yeah, Lizelle might have some contacts. She has a project with some trans characters. I have not got to read any of Lizelle's stuff lately. I'm so far behind in reading. Like it's not even funny. Um, I have between what's on my Kindle over here, my bookshelf, because a friend of mine just published a book. A Marion Rich just published a book of short stories that is just sitting there, and I'm wanting to read it, but I have not gotten around to it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out Lizelle's stuff. Yeah. So thank you all for showing up for this. Like I said, this was just a test to see how the camera worked, and it looks like it's doing good, and my microphone seems to be doing okay. You seem to be able to hear me, so I'm very happy. Yeah, I'm wanting to start doing more live streams. Just like I said, probably starting with the how to edit a podcast one, because there seemed to be a lot of interest in that, and I've had some people talk to me about that. But I'm really excited to be doing stuff on YouTube now, and I'm hoping to maybe do some collabs and really make a go at it, because the thing that amazes me is I'm sitting here. I really started doing this channel in earnest like 2 weeks ago, and I've already gotten 45 subscribers, and that just blows my mind. It just blows my mind. I can't believe anybody subscribed at all to me. Like, yeah, Jules sneaks in everywhere. Oh my goodness, Jules is yeah. Jules, since you're here, I'm going to say this just to embarrass you. You are one of the main reasons I am writing again, because I had gotten into a very bad place and hadn't really written much for a while, and I saw that you were doing writing streams in the morning and started attending them, which got me into doing the other writing streams. And I would not be working on my book, my setting, or anything that I'm doing right now if it wasn't for you. So thank you. That's why I get so excited when you do your streams. Any chance you've got tips for not saying 15,000 times when you're recording a podcast or video? Yes, actually. There's a little trick that I learned when I started doing public speaking, because you don't want to be saying everybody doesn't like that, and you don't want to be saying like. There are a lot of words that people have that fill the gap when you're trying to think of something. And there's no substitution for learning to be quick on your feet. But if you can't do that, you notice I just did it right there. Learning to take proper and precise pauses in what you're saying. So instead of saying you basically let the happen inside your head, but you cover it up by taking a quick breath. So it looks like you're just inhaling, or it sounds like you're just inhaling, and the goes away. And it's very helpful when you're recording, especially when you're recording, because trust me, I have. You're welcome. It's very true. Like it's true. You can ask my husband, who's sneaking around the house somewhere. I get very excited on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays because I'm going to start my day with a stream on the Dawdling Writers channel. So, but yeah, the, I'm actually trying to get people to send me questions for the video that I'm doing on how to podcast as a writer, which I have a feeling is going to turn more into a series on how to do it, because there's a lot of things to talk about. I don't want to be too technical right out of the gate. Filler words are a big problem. One of the fun tricks is finding filler words that are fun and that people will giggle at and make it part of your shtick. I know when I just said I know when I'm on, because I host one of the biggest parties at the convention that should be happening this weekend that isn't, and I miss all my friends so terribly bad. The way I keep from doing that is, I am Southern. I was raised in the Ozarks, and so I have a lot of affectations, and after a few libations, my Southern accent really starts coming out, and I pepper a lot of my dialogue with anywho's and honeychilds and sweeties, which help me get away with a lot, and people find it endearing, and I'm very fortunate for that people find my craziness endearing. Though I am curious if, since some of you are here and I know some of you have seen my videos, I have been putting different stuffed animals behind me in all of the videos. This is my tabby slime. And I've just been waiting for somebody to notice that every video has a different critter, stuffed animal behind me, because my house is filled with them. Let's see, where are we? When you talk about it, yes, it does. I've been fairly good about not saying and like. I used to be really bad with like. Like was my filler word, and I've gotten a lot better with it over the years. If you go back, the very first episode I ever did of the podcast, I was so nervous, and every fifth word was y'all. And so I actually think that episode, the y'all show, I think it's still up for people to hear. It's ridiculous. I know on the 1,000th episode I included a clip from the y'all show because, like I said, about every fifth word I said was y'all, and it was ridiculous. Geez, don't story. It'll bring something else. Oh, I know, it's so bad. I was born in Missouri, and it's Missouri unless you're wealthy or from upstate. So I was born in Missouri. I've lived in Tennessee, Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, and briefly in Wisconsin, longest in Maryland, and in Maryland and California. And I'm now back in Missouri because I'm helping with family. But yeah. Oh yeah. When I get going, you can tell, like the episode I recorded for Monday's podcast, I got a little I got a little worked up towards the end, and the honey childs, and it's better than when my preacher comes out, because I got some of that in me too. I love Anywho. I have never been to Georgia. I've never been. I want to go. My friend Sandy keeps trying to get me to go to Dragon Con with her. And yes, I would love to go. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. Yes, I am a huge fan of Slime Rancher. I have, right next to me, I have my Tabby Slime, and I have one of my it's upside down. I have one of my rock slimes, and over there I've got the honey slime and a couple others. I am a huge fan of this game. I love this game. I still play it all the time. I'm looking forward to hunting the Party Gordo this weekend. I do that every weekend, And there's still one part of the new pool set that they put out that I can't find, and I've looked everywhere, and I have not been able to find a cheat. Oh yeah, like was really bad when I was in middle school too. You're born in Arkansas, raised in Texas. Yeah, the Arkansas accent is very noticeable. We run a restaurant in town, and you can tell when people come up from Arkansas because it shows. It shows very, 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 very badly. When you come through, can you hand me my other slimes real quick? You live in Georgia as well, outside Savannah. Yeah, I I can, or I can, whatever. You want to introduce yourself? It's just Jules, Heather, and a couple. My husband's over here. Is sneaking. He's sneaking through. So there's my cactus, and I got the honey, and my personal favorite that I cuddle and pet too much. This is my petal sign. Big, big fan. And if you're not careful, come here, come here, come here, come here, baby. And this is my fur baby Sasha, who's not happy right now because they're shooting off fireworks in the neighborhood. And she is not a fan of the fireworks. Are you? Yeah. She's shaking a little bit. So I'm probably going to hold her for just a little bit so she can calm down. You going to take her back there with you? Okay. Okay, you're going to go with Brian? Yeah, this is my Sasha. Yeah. Oh, yes, my fur baby. This is one of them. The other two, the other three actually. I don't know if I can show you or not because my cats are over there. Who, like I said in the video, I am not going to rename. I named them Minerva and McGonagall before she who shall not be named did what she who shall not be named did, and I still love my kitties. So, and it's bad luck to change the name of your cats. So your pets. So I'm not going to do it. Oh, you staying up here? Okay. Okay. I think they're fine with that. I think they're fine with that. And my other cat, Jinx, is hiding around here somewhere. She, you might see, because her favorite thing to do. See, look, they love you. Heather loves you. See, everything's all right. Heather loves you. Because Jinx's favorite thing to do is to run right up in my face and smack it really hard and meow at me. So you might get to see her in a little bit. Yeah. When we got them, they're twins from the same litter, and they're both gray, and one is a gray tabby that looks a lot like the cat that they used in the movie. And so I named her that because when we first got her, because what could go wrong? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Our other cat is named Jinx, and she is the twin of my Sasha here. She's black and white with very similar markings, except for she's a kitty. And she picked us. She was a wild cat in the neighborhood, and my husband was going into the restaurant one day, and she crawled right up on the window of his car and started beating on it. Little bitty kitty. I mean, you could hold her in one hand, little bitty kitty. But she got up on the window of his car and started beating on it and meowing at him. And he got out of the car to shoo her off, and she ran and jumped into the car. And he picked her up and threw her out of the car, and she jumped back in the car. And he threw her out of the car, and she jumped back up onto the hood of the car, got up on the windshield, and started meow at him again. And he texted me and said, "Would you like another cat?" And yes, and that's how we got Jinxie. That's how we got her. And she's a handful, but I don't know where she is. I don't know. She's hiding around here somewhere. But let's see. Oh, she is incredible. I don't know if I shared the image. If not, I'll put it on my Instagram story tonight after I get done using my camera, because I don't know if either of you were here when I said it or not, but I'm streaming tonight because I'm testing an app. This is my phone over here, that turns your iPhone into a um, camera for your computer. And so I have my iPhone hooked with the cable up to my computer, and I'm using it and my Yeti mic that I use for podcasting. And it seems to be working quite well. My friend who is super into it has always said that cats find you. Yes, yes. I love my kitties. I love my pets. I am a bit of a witchy person myself. Um, which anybody who pays attention to any of the stuff that I do or post anywhere is not a surprise to anyone. Um, but yeah, I'm actually sitting here. Can I stand up? Is that okay? Okay. I'm gonna just make a point. I never write. I'm back. I never write without having my statue of Ptah somewhere nearby, because he is the builder of worlds and I build worlds. So, oh, hello, Mr. P. So yeah, I'm a bit witchy myself and all that. I did not expect to have this be a thing tonight, but I'm rather excited that it is. Um, yeah, I'm just hanging out, testing my camera and mic. So, and talking and telling random stories that are disturbing and bothering people. I I think I missed something. That's why I'm waiting for my one. Yeah, yeah. There's Mr. P. Hello. Um, I used to procrastinate. I always had a very good reason not to write. I was always able to find one, and this book that I'm working on, it has kicked my butt. It has decided that I am going to be writing no matter what. It has decided that it is going to flow, and I am so happy. And it's mostly her fault, because she's the one that convinced me to start writing at noon my time, and it's patently unfair, because I mean, expecting me to actually get work done, but I am. And it is phenomenal and it is wonderful. And I'm loading Siri for some reason that I don't know. But yeah, let's see what's going on over here. Uh, so yeah, it's I don't know. I'm so excited to be a part of everything that's going on, and like I said, I can't believe that I've almost got 50 subs already. Like that's just blowing my mind. It's insane to me that anybody has subscribed for this, especially today when my dysphoria has kept me from shaving and I just want to cover my face, but I have it under control. I have it under control. Baby Thulu shall save me. Baby Thulu shall save me. Baby Thulu shall set us all free. Yeah, I told you I've got stuffed animals everywhere. Me too. See, like I said earlier, the book that I'm writing has a non-binary specifically, um, protag in it, and the scene that I am writing right now includes a lot of their dysphoria, which I'm hoping is not going to be too triggering for any trans person reading it. But I want to get across to people what I'm trying to get across to people what dysphoria is like, at least for me, because it's so hard to explain and put into words. And every time I hear somebody say it's a lifestyle choice or it's not, it's not, it's really not. And I don't know if anybody has seen Grayson's latest video, but I'm so proud. I'm so happy. I'm so proud. Yeah, my baby Thulu. Baby Thulu is never far away from me. I've got to have my baby Thulu. Sits right behind me as I write every day because I am surrounded by weird stuffed animals because that's the kind of person that I am. And I see absolutely nothing wrong with that. I probably should, but I don't. I was gonna hold a picture up that I was doing, but I'm just so happy that this is working. I actually kind of am sad that the monitor is taking the purple pink off my face over here because for those of you who don't know, the reason the lighting in here is purple is it helps with my eye strain because I spend so much time looking at monitors that the purple light is very relaxing and calming, and it's much more on the blue side of red if you're actually in the room. It's looking very pink in the camera, but it's very carefully calibrated because it helps keep your eyes from burning, because my eyes, they like to burn, especially when I do stuff without my glasses on because I'm smart. There it is. Okay. So, of course, you can't see it. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. That kind of works. You can kind of see it on my thing, and I did share it, I think, finally on Instagram. I fell in love with this idea, this setting, this world, and my procrastination days are over. They're done. It is very hard to explain. And the fact that people think it's made up really bothers me. So this story that I'm writing, it takes place in, at least this section of it takes place in a magic school. It's a flashback to events that took place at a magic school. And I am drawing on actual memories from when I was in school of what I now recognize as dysphoria. And that has been really painful to write because, I have to relive them when I relive them when I remember them. But I really want to get people to understand. My mom and I started putting stuffed animals in the windows of the living room looking at. See, I am weird. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, but I have a feeling that yes, that is they love it. It's their favorite thing. If they can find an excuse to burn, they will burn. No, no. Oh, what was I saying? I got lost with the stuffed animals. No, okay, Monday. I think I'm going to be recording a video for my channel called "I May Be Too Weird for AuthorTube," and um, I've just noticed that some of my offhand remarks in chats and stuff sometimes they get an interesting reaction from people. So, yeah, I don't actually mean like I'm leaving or anything, but I don't know, I just thought it would be fun. Cthulhu. Cthulhu, there's actually like 6 ways to spell it because Lovecraft himself used about 6 ways to spell it. In fact, the first weekend trip my husband and I ever took together was to go up to Providence, Rhode Island to see the Lovecraft collection at Brown University, where they have all of his documents, and we got to read his autobiography with all of his handwritten notes on it that has yet to be published. It's called The Portrait of a Non-Entity, and it is fascinating and helps you understand why he had some of the problems that he had. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying very hard not to do that because you can ask Jules. I've known where this chapter was heading for a while, and like I could see it as it slowly approached because I'm a discovery writer, and there are some things that I know that are going to happen, and yeah, trying not to trigger myself is that's work. Do you have a creature from your new world that you could have made into a stuffed animal? Actually, yes, there are a couple, and if I could find somebody that would help me make them, I would love to. There is one from a medieval legend called a pard, which is a burgundy red lion-like cat feline that is in the book that I absolutely love with all my heart. And I would love to get stuffed animals made out of that. Because if you can imagine, like a burgundy red, a lion, but with like giraffe splotches on it, I would love that. I would absolutely, I would, oh, that would be so wonderful. There's also the Knuckers in the story, which, if you're familiar with English mythology, I think Scottish as well, it's called something slightly different in each country around there. But the Knuckers that are in the book, I would love to have stuffed animals made out of too, because for the little dragons about this big, but with like dragonfly wings. I love them so much. I absolutely love them. I don't know. Or let me date myself here, as my friends and I always pronounced it, Ulatek. I wish I had a prize to give away for anybody who could tell me without searching it where Ulatek is from. Is that's a good way for me to date myself right there. Yep, you figured it out. I hope that question was for me. I answered it. I love to use tarot to write. I've used the I Ching to write. I found that very helpful. Actually, don't think I actually have my tarot deck in here right now. I am working on actually making a tarot deck right now. I've thought about it for years. I have wanted to do it for years. And if anybody's interested in getting a sense of what it's going to be like, in my channel description, there's a link to the Dragons of Night site that I have, and it's the Hala cards, Haela. I'm actually going to make the deck from the setting because I have studied tarot for years, and I am a big fan of tarot, and I thought it would be fun to actually have my own deck. I don't have any of the pictures up there yet because I made a prototype that I shared on my Instagram story, and Jules said nice things about it. A couple other people did too, but I don't think that card's actually going to make it in there because I have I've decided to go a bit more old school with my tarot. So it's gonna have some cards that people might not be familiar with, but are actual historic cards. I'm not just doing one of those tarot decks where people are changing things for change's sake. The vast majority of the things, there's one card in there, the Empress, that I have named something specifically for my setting, but yeah. It's going to be a lot of work. I've realized that, but I've been doing a lot of original artwork lately. That's why I can't believe that I've gotten so much done. Like since the first of this month, I've written like I think 27 or 28,000 in my whip and my work in progress, and that doesn't count the articles that I've been writing on that Dragons of Night site that are background world building stuff. And I've also created all of the artwork that's over there, unless it's cited to somebody else, which a couple are. Some of the sigils that I have included over there were created by other people, and I've given them credit, and paid them for the art. But yeah, the vast majority of the artwork over there I've done myself, and I'm very excited to do it. I think it's going to be a really fun challenge to do, but it's going to be a lot of work because I I have a long history with tarot, and I know I can be a little bit judgy with other people's cards. When I see like decks in a store or something like that, like I'd never walk up to somebody and be like, "I don't like your deck," and like go after them or anything. But when looking at decks, I can be a little judgmental. So I know I'm going to be the worst critic of my own that I could ever possibly be. It's okay. I'm totally down to do. Yeah, I am too. I just it hit me how much work it's going to be when I realized what the four suits I'm going to be using are and how I want to do the artwork for them. Yeah, it's going to be at least I know the one that I'm wanting to do. It's going to be an insane amount of work. I sometimes do tarot cards, but I also have a deck of archetype character cards. That's really cool. Um, this is where I get to be a little weird and kooky and mysterious and ooky and altogether spooky because I am secretly a member of the Addams family. I've been convinced about this since I was a child. I just have not been able to prove it yet. Um, I belong to the world's most unorganized religion, and this is not a time or a place for me to like boost my personal faith. But um, we use cards for some of our meditations, and this is actually the deck of meditation cards that I made for myself based on the ideas and themes of that. So I do actually it'd be easier for me to do it this way. Um, so I have experience making a deck of cards already, um, and these were made with a lot of intention and a lot of symbolism and cards that relate card imagery that relates to imagery on other cards and whatnot. And some of these are upside down, but I'm just randomly holding them up at the camera. So I actually have some experience making cards. This is all my own original art on here. um, before. Um, yeah, I really, I think, um, I've debated how much I was going to talk about certain things on my channel, but since I'm probably going to private this video anyway, I think that tarot is a great way to learn about yourself. I personally do not advocate trying to use it to see the future because I think the future is too malleable, but I think that the chaos that can be brought to the cards is a good way of mimicking the chaos of life. And the more you understand the meaning and symbolism in the cards, the better you can meditate and understand and events that are happening in your own life, if that makes any sense. And I am a huge advocate for that because I think it can be very helpful for that. But I I'm not saying that I have not seen tarot readings that were horrifically accurate, and I'm not saying that I have not done tarot readings that got me punched because I accidentally said something about somebody's past that made them think that I had stolen and read their diary, which I had not. So sometimes the cards could be eerily accurate and on point, but yeah, I think that they are best used as a meditation tool, personally speaking. I don't think tarot should be used for divination, but for self-reflection and self-revelation. Yeah, and I think you can learn a lot from it. I have. Oh, what the heck! First of all, say hello to my transformer, because I have to move Soundwave to get to what I'm reaching for. Because I have stuff all around me. So these are books that I was given ages ago. They are all by Miss Dion Fortune, who was a very interesting occultist in the late Victorian era. I both agree and disagree with a lot of what she has to say. Depends on what it is. I think study of self and self illumination is the most important thing that we can do as an individual or as a species. Yeah, I really big fan of all that. I have to say, my husband is probably really happy that you all showed up right now, because this was supposed to be a 30-minute. I just realized that I've been streaming for like an hour. This was supposed to be like a 30-minute test of my camera. Hello, Ellie Cat. This was supposed to be a 30-minute test of my camera to see if the app worked, and he's in the other room rewatching The Punisher right now because I have not wanted to do that. And yeah, but I'm so excited that this app works. I'm so happy that this app works because I did not want to have to buy a new camera. I did not want to buy a new camera. So I'm going to put it into the chat one more time. If this is not paid, I paid them a whole $8 for this app that I am currently playing with right now, but it is called Epic Cam HD. It is $8, and it turns your phone into a camera, and it appears to be working fine. Nobody's complained, at least. Nothing wrong with getting excited. If you constantly lie to yourself and never do self-reflection, it's a bit ridiculous to think that you... Yes, 1,000 times yes. Yes. I'm going to... sorry, Cad. I almost... let's just say I almost mentioned she who shall not be named. That's me. Hello, welcome back. Did you get an email written and finished? Those are fun. I need to get my newsletter up and working again. Yeah, I really need to do that. Uh, but yeah, I am. Like I said, my husband is probably really excited that you all showed up for this weird random chat because he was going to finish watching the episode of The Punisher that he was watching and then come in here and we were going to goof off together. And he slunk through the room and helped me get my other slimes over here to show Jules. And then I can hear Punisher playing in the back room right now. So they're watching more of their show and probably very happy that I found something to distract myself. So. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh yeah. My dog's generally good about that. My husband punched me in the eye the other night by accident. He had a dream that his pillow was being stolen, and he jumped to like catch the pillow in his hand. Bam! Hit me right in the face. Right there. I was happy I didn't have a bruise or anything. Excuse me. I didn't have a bruise or anything, but I also want to say I apologize for saying the word husband as much as I do in chat and so far on this stream, but we have been together for 22 years, and only in the last 3-4 years have we actually been legally married, and I am so happy. Like it yeah, I have a newsletter. It I don't do anything with it. Like, it has subscribers and they open it, but they never do anything. Like, it's never. Everybody says that newsletters help you sell books, and in my experience over the years, the thing that has sold books was ads and word of mouth. I'm really scared with new book, my new publishing plan for this year that I'm never going to make money again. But yeah. Mom had a dream the other night that someone was stealing the lawnmowers, so she was fighting them off with a pillow and woke us all up. Oh, the lawnmower was still there, right? Because my mother one night heard my sister screaming and woke up shouting her name, and my sister had been in a car accident that night. She's fine. It was a long time ago. She's fine. But sometimes they're premonitions, and I'm that kooky person that actually believes in that, which is why my next video will probably be, "Hi, I'm Charlie, and I'm too weird to be an author tuber." Also, Christian, has anyone else been having a bunch of bizarre dreams lately, or is it just me? I'm going to plead the fifth on this because my dreams are never normal. I don't tell people my dreams. I have a rule because people get very disturbed. Most of my dreams are nightmares because I have PTSD. Because, what the heck? We're all friends here, right? Many years ago, a friend of mine was addicted to cocaine. I scheduled an intervention to help get her off cocaine. She told her drug dealer that I was planning on calling the cops on him. He kidnapped me, held me at gunpoint for a long time. I have PTSD. So, yeah. So my dreams. I was also chased by a serial killer through the woods once, because my life is interesting, and I wish that was a joke. It's not. Both lawnmowers are still there, the old one and the new one. Oh, that's good. I've had premonition dreams. Yeah, it is freaky. I have a friend who is Okay, I'm just gonna go there because if you haven't judged me and left by now, on your own head, so be it. I have a friend who is a medium, and she channels the spirit of Coyote, and about 6 years ago, she sat me down and did a session with me, and I didn't understand it when she said it, but as I was going through it, she predicted the next about 5 years of my life that night. And if she's accurate, I have good things coming in my future. The rest of it's true. But yeah, premonitions and all that can be weird. I have actually based some of my scarier stories on nightmares. Shine Like Thunder, my book Shine Like Thunder, not to promote my own books here, but which is available on Amazon right now. If you have Kindle Unlimited, I think it's still free right now on Kindle Unlimited. I think all my books are on Kindle Unlimited right now because I told them to take them off Kindle Unlimited and they didn't. So I have to wait till August, and they're supposed to take them off in August because I'm going to put them elsewhere. Anyway, um, but yeah, that was inspired by a nightmare, and so is the book I'm currently writing was inspired by a nightmare. So yeah, um, most of your dreams are nightmares too. Yeah, yeah. I hear some people describe their nightmares, and I'm sure that they are very frightening for them. And I'm not trying to lessen other people's pain, but I would love to have their nightmares because it would be a lot better than the ones that I have. Yeah, yeah. We're not going to talk about that. Yeah, I yeah. Um, that wasn't me disbelieving. That was me not wanting to tell a story. A few premonition dreams I've had have dealt with children. Yes, yes. I lived with my sister the summer after graduation, 1995. Summer of 1995, after I graduated from high school, I spent with my sister in Pennsylvania. And one night I got up to go to the bathroom and ran into this cute little black haired girl in the hallway. And I was half asleep, and she giggled and kind of did the like, oops, you shouldn't have seen me, and ran into my sister's room where she was with her husband. And a couple days later, my sister did a pregnancy test, and that beautiful little black haired girl is in my life now. And I remind her of that she's that special, that I knew her before she was born. So, yeah. And my friend Susie has a knack of getting mad at people and saying, may you have twins in a year, and it happening. So I know I'm that bad person. I don't like promoting my own books. I really don't. Like Shine has been very popular over the years. People have loved it. It's the only book that I've ever done that got Filk done for it. Someone did a version of a Nirvana song, but changed the lyrics to be about that book. And it's like one of my dreams come true because I love folk music. I love it so much, so much. But yeah, yeah, Shine has been fairly popular over the years, and I've always meant to write a sequel to it. It actually says, I think, on the cover, book one. Um, yeah, I've always meant to write a sequel to it, but I just never have. Um, Mainly because of the whole. Oh, so I'm going to be the queer writer, am I? Fiasco that happened after I wrote it. That I was talking about a little bit earlier in the stream. But yeah, yeah. So I do love the characters in Shine. My only regret in Shine Like Thunder with Shine Like Thunder is that I was very uncomfortable for a very long time writing female characters because, surprise, non-binary femme here did not want to get into a feminine mindset while they didn't understand and were going through all their dysphoria stuff. And the female character in that book, I think her name is Michio, if I'm remembering correctly. I did her wrong. I did her dirty. She's not in the book very much, and she's in the book as a nurse, and I believe she serves dinner once. But other than that, she's not really in the book. And I've always meant, if I do go back to write sequels, to brush up on that book and actually give her a fully fledged character, because like with it and The Chain, the book that I did immediately after Shine, you can tell that I was having some gender issues, because the moment I realized that I was trans was I was doing a reading, because I was working on an audiobook that will never see the light of day, of The Chain. And I suddenly realized that the entire plot of that book is a trans character who does not know that they are trans being chased by their own masculinity to be kept in a bubble to prevent them from realizing who they really are. And I've talked to after I realized that, I told some friends of mine who had read the book, and they went, "Oh, I didn't see that when I was writing it, but as soon as you said that, oh my goodness, that's exactly what that book is. That was your masculinity trying to keep you in the closet." So yeah, I have interesting feels about that book too. I know some people don't like that term. I love it. I absolutely love it. It is my favorite word for me, because it's me. I'm weird. I'm different. I'm strange, and I love the word queer. But I have a little Larry Kramer inside of me, and yeah. Hopefully, you'll never see my little Larry. I cannot lucid dream for the life of me. I can't astral project either. I've tried both those. I can do dream yoga, which is similar to lucid dreaming, but it's basically learning to use sleep time for additional meditation and contemplation. So it's not like you get to truly take over your dreams, but I generally do dream yoga every night to try to prevent myself from having nightmares. It's one of the best things that I found to not have nightmares with. But I would give so much to astral project. You have no idea. Like, there's a story I could tell you from my youth that I don't know how I feel about that one. But yeah, I would love to be able to do that. That would make me very happy. I'm pretty sure I did when I was a kid. I'm pretty sure I did when I was a kid. I remember feeling a lot more in control of my dreams when I was a child, but I was a very sickly kid. I was an extremely sickly kid. So it was a thing. I know the feeling. I know that feeling. It's so you and I are in the same time zone. Yeah, it's the same time here. We don't go to bed till late. That's one of the reasons why I always say that Jules gets me up in the morning, because we, as I revealed today on I think it was Sarah's live stream, my husband and I own a restaurant in town. And depending on the night, especially now being a Friday, sometimes they don't close till like 2 or 3. And so sometimes he doesn't get home till late. And so We don't usually go to bed until everybody's out of the restaurant. So we always go to bed late. I'm terrible about seeing typos in, like, the worst thing that happened to me is when I learned on YouTube that you could redact your statements, your chats, and you'll notice in a lot of times if I'm in a chat, you'll see redacted chats from me. That's not because I didn't mean to say it; it's because I saw a typo that bothered me, and I just deleted it and typed it again. I do that way too much. But a college professor who taught us a way to lucid dream a bit better. Choose a single simple image to focus on as you fall asleep. Imagine that you're sinking towards that image. I've got to try that. That's actually similar to how dream yoga starts. You start by setting an intention for the welfare and well-being of the world, and for the sake of spiritual awakening, I shall seize my dreams and awaken in them, so that I might that I might realize the true nature of mind and all things. And you set that as your intention as you're falling asleep, and then you visualize. I was taught the Tibetan version of this, so the Tibetan vowel sign ah, and focus on that black on white on black, and let your consciousness go into it as you fall asleep. By focusing on the image, plus your knowledge that you want to lucid dream allows it to happen easier. I'm going to have to try that tonight because I have been doing a lot of active imagination exercises lately to deal with 2020. I don't think I can say anything more than that because it's 2020, and I think we all have some baggage to work through. I've already lost one really good friend this year from everything going on, and I've been doing a lot of active imagination journaling, and it has been extremely, extremely helpful for me. This is actually the last journal I did because, as you can see, this one's already full. But yeah, it has been extremely, extremely helpful. And I think lucid dreaming would be helpful too. Seeing a typo, deleting it, and typing it again. Yeah, I do that way too much. And like I said, if you're ever in a chat that I'm in and you see that I've redacted things, it's because I saw a typo. Sometimes I'm just too tired and don't bother. But a lot of times it really bugs me and I have to do something. Speaking of correcting oneself. Hello. Mom things. And like I said, it's just kind of a hangout thing. I miss doing my mom things. I've never really been a mom, and like I've never had kids. But see, I came out in Maryland, and the gay subculture that I grew up in there was very much a descendant of New York ball culture. So, the freshly hatched, as we were often called, were encouraged to find a mother or a father in the community that would help us, because when I came out, it was still extremely dangerous to be gay. I mean, it's better now, but it's not great. But it was back then it was horrible. And so over the years, I have had quite a few children, in that sense that I have helped get jobs, I have helped find housing, I have helped through more breakups and emotional traumas than I can count, and the glorious little babies still call me mama, which makes me very, very happy. But yeah, I've always wanted to have actual children, but I live in Missouri, and it is illegal for homosexual couples to have children here. They do not actively take away your children from you, but we are banned from adoption, and that is still a thing. So we definitely will not be having children so long as we live here, because that's a thing we can't do. Some of my dreams are like over-the-shoulder camera views of a game. I've had some of those, and they're crazy. Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Like, that makes me want to write a better version of Ready Player One, except for instead of it being a video game, it's a dreamscape. I'm sure that book exists. That book has to exist, right? Somewhere in the universe, that book has to exist. If it doesn't, I am just shocked. I apologize. I have bad habits. Let's see. I'll have to rewatch that because too much is going on. The stupid alarm keeps going on. I used to do when I was here. Yeah, I've actually kind of come to the decision that I'm not going to take this video down. I initially was, but I've really enjoyed talking to you all, and I'm not embarrassed by any of the stories that I've told, because I do not get embarrassed easily. That's something to be warned about me. It's one of the few times I don't mind being called Mr. because it's an old nickname of mine. I am known at several conventions on the East Coast as Mr. Inappropriate, and for a very good reason. I that little part of your brain that tells you don't say that, it died in me a long time ago. Good night. It was nice to meet you, and I'm glad you showed up. Came back into something about trauma in children. No idea. But well, yeah. Oh, we've talked about a lot. So, yeah, thank you for being here. I don't want to stop either, but it's after 11. See, here's the thing. I can hear my husband back there watching The Punisher. So I can either go back there and interrupt him or keep talking to you all. I've actually thought about doing that. I used to back when Google Plus first started and they first rolled out Hangouts. We used to do that all the time because you could set a Hangout to open. This is back when it was invitation only. You could set a Hangout to just open and anybody could pop in, and we would just sit and talk for hours. And I loved it because I'm a talker and I live in the middle of nowhere and I don't go out because health conditions. So yeah, I might steal that. So that might end up being the name of this video when it actually goes up on the channel. I will consider it. I will, because I don't know. I'm a talker, and I am. It's who I am. Though I have to give you all the warning that they may not all be sober late nights with Charlie, because I bought myself a bottle of Takai that's just sitting over there that I was going to let myself get into for doing a good job writing, and I've been doing a good job writing. I'm sorry if this offends or bothers anybody, but I had been a smoker for a very long time, and I'm trying to give it up. And yeah, this is the path that I have taken. So I just feel awkward because I know it really bothers some people and it triggers some people, but we've been on here for a while. Alrighty, so I'm going to go bother my husband. I've had a lot of fun with this. Let me know, like, for real, if you all would like to make this a more regular thing, because I love just sitting around and talking, because most of the chat, the streams that happen on AuthorTube are so productivity focused, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I get a lot of work done. Like I said, I'm like 28,000 words into my whip this month, but I would love to, like, I could definitely schedule. Yeah, we could definitely do that. Um, hmm. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure this out. So, I am CE Dorset on Twitter and Instagram. So, message me or leave comments here, because that. Yeah, I see. I wanted. That's a whole topic, but this this is better than what I was doing. This is a lot better than what I was doing. But I still feel odd. Yeah. Late night cocktails with Charlie. Yeah, I will give that some serious thought. So yeah, if there's a particular day that would be good for people, let me know. Because, or for goodness sakes, like I said, I live out in the middle of nowhere. I have no life, so I can do it whenever. So if you guys wanted to do it more than once a week, we could definitely start making that a thing. Because yeah, and you might have the wonderful joy of seeing my husband when he's not in the back hiding, because that's his computer right there, and that's where he plays his video games and what have you. So yeah, I I think that will have to become a thing. Yeah, we I between, man, I've got so many new projects going on. So I've got the tarot deck that I'm doing. I am launching a new podcast in the next week or two called The Writer in the Lotus, which is going to be about mindfulness for writers, and I'm going to have some guided meditations and stuff in there. It's going to be a weekly podcast. Very excited about that. I have my regular podcast that I've been doing for like a decade now called Project Shadow, that I do weekly now. That used to be daily. Done over 1,000 episodes of that sucker over the years. And I'm writing the book, and I'm building the Dragons of Night site, which, when it's done, will be a fully fledged role-playing game. Because right now it's probably going to be built in the Cypher system unless I come up with a system of my own that I like better. Shiny New Ideas Syndrome has struck us again. I don't think it's Shiny New Ideas Syndrome. I really don't. Because, see, what would I be doing otherwise? See, to me, Shiny New Idea Syndrome is what keeps me from finishing a project. It's like the sci-fi thing that I've been working on for like 8 years now, that every time I get started on something, I go, ooh, but if I did this other thing, and I work on that one instead. To me, Shiny New Idea Syndrome is what keeps you from getting stuff done. If you just keep adding new stuff in and doing more and more things, that's not Shiny New Idea Syndrome. That's just being a workaholic who has no life. which is what I am. Which, again, for anybody who missed it earlier, is why I keep Baby Thulu beside me at all times to remind me of my madness. Because it is real. It is real. Baby Thulu shall come for your soul. I love my Baby Thulu. But yeah, yeah. Because like I said, I'm down for it, because I've been wanting to do more, and I don't know, I had a lot of fun tonight. So I'm guessing y'all did, or you wouldn't have hung around unless you're just so bored that my annoying nature was good enough distraction for you. Layers. Yes, they're like onions. Oh, Shrek. Okay, last weird thing. My husband, my sweet dear husband, who refused to show his face on camera tonight, my sweet dear husband had a friend, and we are convinced that one night when they were in New York, Mike Myers or somebody that would eventually be in DreamWorks saw him and his friend hanging out because they are Shrek and Donkey. Except for they were Shrek and Donkey before Shrek and Donkey were Shrek and Donkey. And my husband is Donkey. He's making waffles. Not right now, but probably on Sunday. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, if you want to check out mine on my channel page, just click the Dragons of Night link and then click on the Halo cards. And I've listed all the ones that I'm using there. Also, with the exception of Trumaine, every name that's in that article is an actual figure in the history of tarot. Oswin Trumaine is an original character from my setting, but every other character mentioned in that article is historical and real. But it's got a good list of alternate tarot cards, which are the ones that I'm doing, which are a much older set of tarot than the ones most people are familiar with. There'll be some cards in there people will recognize, and if anybody hasn't been paying attention, I love Mother Satyria, so she will have a card. You better believe Mother will have a card. But yeah, other than her card, she's just replacing the Empress. But all of the other cards are, yeah. I'm excited. I'm very excited. So, oh goodness, I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. It's been an hour and 40 minutes. So I am going to go and call it a night. Thank you so much for doing this. I guess I should do the regular YouTube outro. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed. All that jazz since I'm leaving this video up. It was weird. And if you're watching this on replay, more power to you. You're awesome, because I'm sure, especially at the beginning when I'm just like randomly clicking things, because I don't think I'm going to edit it. I'm just going to put it up. It's alive. But especially at the beginning where I'm just randomly clicking things in StreamYard going, what's this do? What's that do? What's this do? It's going to be fun. And if you're watching the replay and you've gotten to this point after that, hail and hallelujah to you. You are one of the faithful. So, yeah, my name is Charlie. I am a dark fantasy romance writer who is queer as the day is long. I write under the name of C.E. Dorset, and you can find links to everything at my website, projectshadow.com. So, yeah, I really had fun, and yeah, we're gonna definitely have to. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to schedule. Yeah, this was definitely a successful stream. So, so thank you all for showing up, and until next time, don't forget to have the fun. Bye. And there we go.